Good day, Ariane here. Today in this tutorial we're going to do deployment using WDS, which is Windows Deployment Server. Alright, this is just a method of installing software via a network remotely. Alright, so to do this we're going to go to our server machine and launch our server manager, where we're going to add the role for Windows Deployment Server. Right, close. Add rows, Windows Deployment Services, click next. Right, it's just an overview of what Windows Deployment Services is. We're installing the rules for deployment server and transport server. And then click install and wait for it to install. Right, once it has finished, you're going to click close. Right, go back to start. You launch your Windows Deployment Services now. Click the drop down at the server and it will tell you Windows Deployment Server not yet configured. So you're going to right click, configure server. Alright, just telling you to successfully install and use these services, you will need this computer to be a member of Active Directory Domain Services. It must have an active DHCP server on your network, an active DNS server, and an NTFS partition on the Windows server deployment server for storing images. Click next. Right. I'm going to call it installation folder. Click next. It is recommended that you create a partition on your server to do this, but for the purposes of this demonstration we're using the same C drive instead of a separate partition. So just click yes. Right. If a DHCP server is running on the Windows Deployment Services server, which it is, Windows Deployment Server must be configured to not listen on port 67, and DHCP option tag 60 must be added to all DHCP scopes on your DHCP server. Alright, so we add, that's why I checked those two boxes. Alright, this is the pre-boot execution environment. Client computers may be pre-staged in an active domain, the Active Directory Domain Services. When a client computer is pre-staged, it is also called a known client. Clients which are not pre-staged are called unknown. Use the space to select which client the Windows Deployment Server responds to and what action is taken when the server responds to a known or unknown client server. We wanted to respond to all. It's not the most secure way, but for the purposes of this tutorial, that's the way we're going. And click finish. Okay, now that it has finished, you click finish. Alright. And from here, you can go ahead to add your images, your install images. So we're going to add them manually. Add installed image. We're going to create a new image group. This will be the Win7 install. Click next. I'm gonna browse to the file, computer, C, sources, install that one. We're gonna click open. Next, I'm gonna keep the 2 because we have 2 versions of Windows 7. Click next, next. Okay, so our install.wim has finished. Next, we're going to do our boot images, right? Add boot image, boot.wim, and next. Right. And it's going to install our boot image as well. Alright, so our boot image has finished installing as well, so you're going to click finish. Alright, we're going to minimize the server, and I already created a VM machine. Just gonna adjust the settings. Alright, I'm gonna power it up, and as it boots, it usually prompts you if you want to boot. Press a hotkey. So we're going to press F12. Press F12 again. And there you have it. It will begin to load the files for the machine. Right? You're gonna have to be a little patient. See, it's loading from our server IP there. We're gonna have to be a little patient because it's going to take some time. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to install using Windows deployment services, as can be seen here. Alright, that's about it. This has been my tutorial on deployment via WDS. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more.